Good afternoon, everyone. Again, my name is Brad Walter, and this is my written test assessment for a private pilot student on the topic of aerodynamics. Hope you all enjoy. For my scenario, the student that I'm administering this test to is a private pilot student with about 40 hours of flight time. Written test is already complete. They're getting ready for their check ride here coming up pretty quick. So their knowledge base should be pretty decent. So we'll see how the test goes for the student. So for this exam, I did a lot of written test questions. I tried to keep some of them very basic, and then a few other ones get a little bit more complicated, and just kind of poke and prod to see exactly where the student's knowledge is at. So the first one, pretty simple. What are the four forces acting on an airplane in flight? And then the next one, explain the relationship between Bernoulli's principle and how lift is produced. That one you can get pretty in depth with, and hopefully they have a good understanding of what Bernoulli's principle is and how that relates. The fluid dynamics relate to aerodynamics and lift on an airfoil. The next one, simple fill in the blank, angle of attack, angle between the chord line of the airfoil and the direction of the relative wind. I pulled that directly from the airplane handbook, aviation flying handbook, AFH. And then the next one were the two types of drag that are produced by an aircraft flying through the air. So obviously parasite and induced drag are the two. And then, so with the Bernoulli's Principle 1 and this one, it's a good opportunity when going over the test with the student to expound on that and give them a little bit more information if they don't have everything that they need to thoroughly explain those, because those are pretty important items to understand when it comes to aerodynamics. Next one, what are wingtip vortices and what configuration creates the most intense vortices? So obviously this comes into a big play when you're at a bigger airport and you're landing behind heavy aircraft. You'll have to be aware of and know how that's produced and when. And the wingtip vortices question leads right into question number 6. If you're landing behind a heavy aircraft, where should you plan to touch down? Obviously that's a safety issue. You definitely need to know that, how much time you should leave between you and the other plane and where you should touch down. What direction the wind is blowing the vortices needs to be taken into account, so you can expound on all that stuff when going over the test. Next one, what are the three axes the aircraft moves about? Pretty simple question. You can talk about the axis and then which surface, on to the next question, what surface of the aircraft, which flight control controls the aircraft about those axes. The next one, another safety related question, well, when will a stall occur? Looking for when the critical angle of attack is surpassed, is when a stall is guaranteed to occur. And then, obviously you're jumping in the plane with this person that's going to be practicing these maneuvers. It's nice to know that they are aware of what the stall recovery procedures are for our aircraft. So having them recite those back to you in a calm setting gives you more confidence that they're going to be able to perform the necessary recovery procedures in the aircraft. And a couple of the big takeaways for me as far as being an instructor and administering tests, whether it be written or orally, make sure you're challenging the student, but don't make it so challenging that it's discouraging to them. Don't give them a test that they're going to get every question wrong, or give them a test that every question is super easy for them either. Make sure you're at the right level for your student. Use the test to teach additional information. Like I said, with the Bernoulli's Principle 1 and a couple others there, you can expound on what their answer is and just teach them some more useful information. And again, with all of these, always be encouraging. If they get several of them wrong, just point them to the answer, show them in the handbook on why it is what it is, and just hopefully they take on the information and improve for the next time. And these are the references that I used to put together this presentation. Hope you all enjoyed.